Good morning folks, 21st Century Caveman here. Hope everybody's safe, hope everybody's well. So today we're going to discuss how to make a sanding pole out of some common materials, and this will be a project which will be within the capabilities of any DIYer. Now obviously you can just go out and buy one if you want to, but if you've got some common materials lying around and you can knock one of these up yourself, basically you're going to save yourself at least 25 quid. Now, in terms of the materials you need to use, I'm actually using an abrasive sponge here. It has two different grits, a coarse on one side and a finer grit on the other side. But you can use anything basically. If you want to, you can just use a sheet of sandpaper wrapped around a block of wood. But I decided to use an abrasive sponge and use a hot melt gun to glue it to a piece of timber, but clearly you can fix it in all manner of ways. Now the thing that you need to bear in mind is the fact that if possible try and use an abrasive material which you can wash, and the reason for that is because obviously you want to be able to use this again and again, and if you can wash out all of the gumph then it just means that you can use it repeatedly rather than having to keep replacing the head of the sander. So we're gluing this into place then. I'm going to leave it overnight and we're going to have a look at it in the morning and then start thinking about attaching it to a pole. So following day then, we're back at the ranch and I've got a piece of timber here. It's 2x3. It's been lying around for a short while, and what I'm going to do, I'm just going to cut an angle right at the tip of the timber in order that I can attach the sanding head to it. And in order to get a nice straight edge on here, I've just decided to clamp a small piece of plywood on there, and I'm going to use it as a guide just to cut off the top of the timber. And as you can see, look, that gives me a lovely straight edge, which will mean that we're able to fix the head very securely. So I'm using 50mm screws here, look, and I'm just going to mark on the timber where I'm going to screw them in so that I can secure the sanding block to the timber pole. So I'm just going to put 3 screws in here, look, and that'll work a doddle and hold it together very securely indeed. And as I say, this is something which any DIY can do. It's very basic, but let me tell you, it's very effective indeed. So this piece of timber then, it's about 6'8" long, and as you can see, that's what we're looking for. We've got a nice angle on the end of the timber, and we've attached the sanding block to it, which will hold it securely. Now what I've done, I've actually cut the angle right at the very end of this piece of timber, because I know that I'll be able to use this timber again if necessary, and obviously I don't want to waste it unnecessarily. So I'm in one of the big bedrooms now, and I've taped this over using 50mm reinforced paper jointing tape, and I've also put a coat of EasyFill 60 on here. Now what you will find with something like this is the fact that technique is important, and once you have a little play with it, you'll find the right technique in order that you can use this effectively and efficiently. Now after about 5 minutes use, I found that the best way to use this was to hold the handle towards the end, which enabled me to manoeuvre the sanding pole easier and to prevent it from sort of jamming against the ceiling. Now the other thing which became clear is the fact that if it had a flexible head, it would actually make it easier to use. And an obvious way of addressing this will be perhaps, for example, to put a hinge or something on the end, which would enable the head to move around according to the surface it's on. So anyway, look guys, this is just a prototype, and if you're in the market for something similar, hopefully it gives you an idea about an easy way to knock up one of these. And this cost me about £2.50 to make something like that, so it's peanuts basically, and it is something which is strong, it's sturdy, it's effective, and can be used time and time again. Thank you for watching.